Hello again everybody, this is Amorgin and you're very welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Fleet Command. So guys, I'm jumping in doing this on the fly. I've had the two previous videos on this subject and there's been a few developments and quite a bit of discussion going around in the game and on Discord. So we're going to jump in, we're going to take a look at this event, but just before we do, we're going to go and take a look at some of these announcements from Panic that have happened over the last couple of days. So the first thing there, guys, normal enough kind of announcement there from them. It's basically saying that they're going to address the issues that have arisen in the update, and the main one that people seem to be giving out about is the increased repair time. So standard enough response there, fixing bugs and what have you. They've provided compensation chests in order to alleviate some of the pain. I think people got those. And faction reputation changes. They're saying something to do with because of data changes, a few quests were auto completed. That was one of the issues I had, if people recall, about that mission that I wanted to save the dilithium on. So some of the logic behind this is that people are saying that the completion of this was to allow people to get the rewards in dilithium to be able to build the Botany Bay and to advance through certain missions, and the donating of the dilithium and what have you. So that seems to be the logic behind that. That's the first message. An apology there from Panic. I to be honest with you, I feel for Panic because he's got an unenvious job, and he has to deal with all of us whingers, and yeah, and there's a whole team of people there working for this company, and he seems to be the guy that gets lumbered with dealing with all of our crap. So a shout out to Panic. I don't envy your job, lad, but hopefully you are provided with a forum with your employers and with your company to reflect back some of the genuine concerns that players have. So I'm going to move on here now, guys, to the coming Darkness event announcement. He gives an overview and he talks about the expansion and the new ship and what have you, and it requires level 18 or above. Initial blueprints, Uncaged, watch the videos, guys, that I've done. I go through all of that. 30 blueprints available for free, and then 6 every day in the chests. So I'm up to, I think it's 48 now. I need another 2 days of it. So we'll get on to that now in a wee minute. He talks about the Botany Bay, mining corrupted or decoded data, and the shipyard needing to be above level 18, the shipyard needing to be level 18 or above to build it. So, and plutonium here, guys, is the resource. It's got 3 grades to it, like the other ones, but you get it from the faction store or from special sales as well, and it escalates, upgrades at escalating tiers. So presumably the same there. You need rare and uncommon the further you go through the upgrades. So then he moves on to the corrupted and decoded data, and what's a little bit different here seems to be the 3 ships being able to dock at a mine as opposed to just 1. That might be a positive. We'll see how that goes. And then you can convert that resource. You can convert plutonium to augment credits for items. Then the augment faction store, and they reckon that it's easier to find, but less efficient to use, so you'll require more of it to turn it into more of it than the decoded data for the conversion of augment credits. Then he's talking here about the bounty hunters. The more friendly you are with the augments, the bounty hunters are going to come after you. I want to give a shout out to Billy, who gave me a wee heads up on this, and again we'll deal with that in a minute. Reputations gotten for the faction from mission rewards and different things they got there. Reputation tiers, nothing too amazing there. The reputation tiers, it starts at 0, will not decrease, and interacting with the other factions doesn't affect it at all. So that's what we're looking at here, guys. We're looking at new resources, new faction space, all of that, like I've dealt with in the previous 2 videos. So I want to just move on to a little bit of this what Billy was talking about, and a few other you guys commented in there on the YouTube channel and different places about how you basically go into these. You go into this new faction space, and what happens is that you start to build your reputation with this augment faction, and what the thinking is once you get past 2,500k in augment reputation, the Suliban bounty hunters will come after you and they'll kill you. So the thinking is to get as much of the data as you can before advancing your reputation with the faction. So that's the tip that's there at the moment. That's what people are recommending. So if you're in that faction space and you haven't hit that 2,500 augment reputation, don't hit that. Don't be in a hurry to hit that 2,500 augment reputation and to develop it. Mine as much of that data as you can until that's resolved. Now, as Panic mentioned there himself, there's a lot of giving out. People are expecting that the increased repair times on ships and stuff and reputation changes, that there'll be some sort of apology for that and whatever. There are other concerns here, guys, that's going on in terms of there's a lot of disgruntled players out there who are concerned with the fact that they haven't built the Botany Bay, and this is going on. Okay, so the daily and the monthly events, monthly alliance event and monthly solo event, as well as your daily hunting the hunters. So I'm going to take a look at this here in a wee second. I just want to show you my ship. I'll show you the 48 blueprints. So I picked up the prints in the store. I'm going about this the freeway. I haven't bought the pack, so I have another 2 days of that to go. And if I go into the faction store, that's jumping about there a wee bit. If I go into the faction store and go to augment faction, I have another 18 hours before I can pick that up. So 18, and I think the timer starts at 22. So that's 40 hours essentially that I've got before I can even start building the Botany Bay and engaging in this event. So what people are giving out about is basically, if you're in my situation here, you're left with a choice. Wait for the 2 days and miss out on the opportunity, particularly with hunting the hunters. That's finishing in 19 hours. I have to wait 40 hours minimum before I can get so I'm going to miss out on any opportunity to do this hunting the hunters, right? So whatever about being able to kill these, I haven't even got down there to check that out. I have to go and buy the blueprints in the store to get my Botany Bay to even participate in this event. A lot of people giving out about that because basically you're being left behind and you're being punished and isolated from the new content unless you put your hand in your pocket. That's something Scopely really need to look at. You can't engage a player base, keep apologizing for all the bugs and all the things, and then dump something like this on them, where basically if you haven't spent money, more money for the company than what you've spent already, you're prevented from even taking part in this event. So that's a bit disgraceful. Now this next one, the augment loyalty event, the monthly augment loyalty event, there's 3 days, 18 hours, so I'll miss half of that event essentially. That's the guts of, let me see, 72, 80, that's 90 hours, so I'll miss almost half of this event. Maybe more than half of it, depending on how long it takes me to build the Botany Bay and upgrade it enough and what have you. So we're looking at Joachim shards there and can tokens. These can tokens seem to be central to the event. And then of course there's the Alliance event, which I wouldn't even be able to claim these rewards. Build the Botany Bay is the first one, you get 500 points, and then gain augment reputation, which we were saying, guys, would be a bit careful about that. So we're probably not going to hit that 1.2 million at the moment. There's 23 days left on that, so plenty of time for that one for your Alliance. But again, you're talking can tokens here for it. And they presumably will be spent then in the Augment Faction store. So we'll take a wee nosy at that, see if there's anything we can look at. I don't think there is. So I'm not seeing anything there that can spend canned tokens on. So let's see if it's in the event store. There, and the event store is grayed out for me, so so nothing doing there just yet for me with these canned tokens, or what way that's going to go. Now we're expecting something from Scopely very shortly to deal with some of these issues. You can see there that my chest, claiming my chest, that the text has gone from it. This expansion has made the game very, very buggy in many, many regards, and I think Scopely know this. I think Poor Panic's name is appropriate, because I think there is a little bit of panic ensuing, because they've released this onto the market. People are unhappy with the way they've done it, and on top of that, it broke the game. So guys, I've jumped in here very, very quickly and recorded this last little bit of footage, and I'm going to try and edit it into the middle here, so hopefully it'll come across as quite seamless. But there's literally been an announcement in the last couple of moments. I'm trying to get it out there for you guys, from Panic, around this can expansion. So we can see here that there's an acknowledgement that the repair times are an issue. We've mentioned this there already, and this is now the response to that specifically. There's inaccuracies around it. It goes on to explain a little bit about that, what's going on, and the reasons for it. And basically saying there that fixes were applied to other aspects, and it's had unintended consequences. So that's all well and good. The next steps we hear here are that there's going to be a rebalance. This is the #1 priority, and what's very interesting about this, guys, what will make this potentially a very interesting weekend, is that the repair timers are going to be brought down significantly. So I've sent out a ship. I sent out my Kamari to hostile space, get it destroyed deliberately. I'm going to demonstrate this now, see how this works, but it says a big reduction in repair times. What's that going to be, and is that going to create chaos on your server? So so here we go. We're gonna look at this. Repair time, it says here, is 1 hour 59 minutes. Ask for help, and it's down straight away there to 35 minutes. So that's roughly, like, apart from whatever buffs I've got and whatever improvements I've got in terms of my station, that's the new dry dock. That's not even an upgraded dry dock, so that's brought it down by about 60%. Not wild amazing, but I suppose it's helpful in the sense it'll save some speed ups if people are going to be going out and doing this event. But unfortunately, as we've seen there, it's going to be 2 days before I get there. So so that's that announcement, guys. Check it out yourselves, and see how it works for you in terms of repairing your ships, and have fun with that if you're the sort of player that enjoys your bit of PvP. So just a wee aside from all of that there, guys, I've hit level 28 here. That's opened up a 4th dry dock for me, so I'm on to my 4th ship here. My dailies for the loyalty chests have gone up to 245. Even more difficult to achieve, but I've sped up a few things there, and I've gotten up to 155 with those top rewards. So I'm progressing on, guys, and I'm trying to get into the best position possible, anticipating some sort of PvP. I don't really know what way things are going to go for me in this event, because I'm going to wait it out and get the Botany Bay in the freeway. It's not that I could go, I suppose, like, I have 20 quid that I could go and spend on that pack, but to be honest with you, the way that it's been handled puts me off doing that. If my experiences so far had been more positive towards this game, I'd consider paying 20 quid for an expansion. I've paid 20 quid for other expansions in other games. It wouldn't bother me paying it here, but I'm just a bit wary, guys, because of the way the game has gone with all of this. So I'm gonna go the free to play way, and it makes it possible for me to do a little bit of this content for all you guys who are free to play. So I'm right down there in the trenches with you, doing this the tough way, being left behind because I didn't put my hand in my pocket. So there it is, guys. The last thing that I want to deal with here is a message that I got that's been doing the rounds on Discord, a message that was sent to a number of us about the issues that are in the game. So I'm just going to take a quick look at that before I finish up. I think it does express the sentiments that many people were expressing around the discontent that exists out there, really. I've suggested that if people want to really bring this to Scopely's attention, then somebody do an online petition with this text as the thing and send that around and get people to sign it, rather than asking everybody to write their own letter. But there it is, open letter to Scopely. Today's new event, showing that little regard for players, don't spend money in the game, exactly the sort of stuff I'm after saying. You know, you require certain things, that's not necessarily an issue, but the rewards for the players and alliances all seem good, but the set of missions only allowed 30 blueprints. You need 60. You're giving them away every day. We've always said all this here, but you're selling them 30 blueprints for 20 quid in the store, and showing the true colours. Like we've said, it's money hungry. There's obviously a very toxic element within Scopely headquarters who don't care about the players. It's dollar signs. It's they want to see the graphs going up the ways. They're not engaged with the game. They're not engaged with the players. Poor Panic has to deal with us and all the giving out, and these people just don't realise. They're laughing at us. Like, so my advice to the majority of decent people who work for Scopely is put manners on these couple of money-hungry idiots that are running around and think that people are only there as punters and you don't have to look after them. This will come down around their ears. No business can be ran in any successful way without treating your customer base with some sort of sense of respect. So any of the criticisms that's there for Scopely, it's not a one-size-fits-all blanket kind of criticism that's there. We know there's good guys working for Scopely, but this element who just think that people are there to be ripped off, name and shame these fools. These people haven't got the first clue about business sense. They've seen an opportunity, they're exploiting it, and they're milking it for everything they can get, and then they're going to run. These are cowboys. You know, these sort of people ruin business enterprises, and this guy hits the nail on the head there when he says, you know, he talks about like these sort of tactics being related, I suppose, to gambling things and all of that, and it's shutting down games and companies in other countries because the gambling thing's being taken very seriously. He touches on how it affects people with addictions and addictive personalities and all this kind of stuff, and he's dead right about that. And he says there, very, very telling line, stop, you're ruining your own game. You know, it's strong arm tactics, he calls it, fair enough. You know, and he talks about the large spenders to see if they agree or not. I don't know. I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for myself. I applaud a message like this. This guy isn't willy-nilly criticising the game. This guy clearly is like myself, and he loves the game, and he's invested in the game and all of that there. So this message to Scopely needs to be listened to, and hopefully it will be. So there you have it, guys. I've put it out there. You can do what you want. You can take this guy's advice and you can write that letter in your own fashion to Scopely if you like, or somebody go and start a petition or something like that there. I'll sign it, no bother. I agree with the sentiments and that there, but do as you wish, guys, and as always, leave your comments below and get the discussion going. Join me on my Discord and we'll discuss this kind of stuff even further if you wish. And yeah, until then, if there's any more news on this, I will I'll get recording it and I'll do a wee piece on it as it progresses. But for now, it's going to be 2 days before I can do any more on this event. So it's going to be 2 days unless something happens in the meantime before I can bring any more footage of how this event actually works. So I look forward to that, guys. And until then, take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and I will catch all of you guys again very, very shortly. Cheers.